Hey, I'm Ronnie Satmeyer, and today I'm going to run some drums through some compressors. My buddy Nick Bertling at Bertling Noise Laboratories sent me some drum files to mess with because I just needed something fresh that I haven't heard or used in a while. And I put up my Overstayer Stereo VCA on Reverb. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it up there or not. I've had that thing, I've used it on my 2-bus a lot, I love it. It's very SSL-ish, I guess, and I have the Wes Audio one that I've been living with on my 2-bus inserted on my SSL Fusion. And I've used the Overstayer since then on background vocals. I've used it on parallel things. I'm doing, like, you know, kind of the once in a while the Andrew Shep's rear bus kind of technique, and I'll use it there, parallel drums. It's cool. But then I started using it combined with mic pre's behind it just to give it some color and transformer, because I was looking at the possibility of maybe Audioscape D comp or the Heritage version of the 33609, their HA609. I'm not sure. But as I was going through, and I'll show in these examples, I came across the JLM 500s that I built a while back that I've been leaving on mostly background vocals, sometimes guitars. They sound great on drums, I think. That it almost makes me want to buy another pair in the 19-inch rack version just to have it different than the 500 and dedicated to parallel drum stuff or the overall parallel rear bus thing. That might work there too. But I'm gonna run through these clips. Nick gave me kind of one standard style kit with a different kit, and then more of a Zeppelin kit with a bigger kick and, you know, of a ringy Zeppelin bottom sound. So it makes the compressor kind of trigger funny. And then I'm kind of, every once in a while, I'll run it through the Capi LC25. I built a pair of those. I've been using them on kick and snare, but I actually kind of like them just across the drum bus like this, just to add a little flavor, especially when you're doing a parallel and you want to maybe leave your normal bus a little darker and then make this one a little punchier and slide it under. I'm finding EQs pretty useful for that. And then I kind of went through a couple compressors mono, like the 1176 and the LA2A, because they're mono. But check it out. As I mentioned, Nick Bertling from Bertling Noise Laboratories gave me some drums to mess with for my examples here. So he did like a standard kit. This is raw, just as he gave me. I did a quick little balance. And then he did a different, more Zeppelin kit. I did my normal auto align thing real quick, so let me turn them all off, put on the standard kit. Sounds pretty good. And it's probably only aligning a little bit, but I'll kick this on in the middle of it playing. It's really just locking that snare into the rooms and overheads a little bit tighter, but you could go without it really. And then I just use the SSL native channel real quickly across the channels, just doing a little stuff. I'm going to put a pro level on it too. So I'm going to create a bus just to show, because I'm going to do a parallel thing as an example too. Let me take these off the master. So nothing's coming out there. And then we'll call this drum bus A. Okay, we're going to put a reinsert on here, and I'm using channels 9 and 10. So I'm gonna go through the Overstayer first and let you hear that. I think I got this in a loop section. I'll engage it. I'll do my best to try to keep my hand out in front of the camera, but behavior controls gives it some color. It's out. This is a grab button. Turns the EQ on. I can blend some dry back in. There's dry. So what I also decided to do, so some of these other compressors I'm looking at have, you know, transformers in them and they're colorful. And I have this Wes Audio, which is kind of SSL-ish, same as the Overstayer. And I was looking for a little more color. Let me patch this in real quick. So the other thing I was thinking was maybe trying to, which I've done before, is come out of the compressor and go into a mic pre. And right now I'm going into these, which you can't see in the camera right yet, but a pair of Stam SA73.5s, which is like a 1073 500 series Stam pre. I was doing my Vintech and I was doing my Chandler TG2, and that worked pretty good. This might change the level a little bit. Let me see how hot this is. This is the Overstayer going into the Stam mic pre's. Let's try it on that other more Zeppelin kit a second. Bypassed. Okay, so the other thing to try while I'm on here, before I go to another compressor, is let me, I want to add another bus real quick. We'll call this B. Let's drag this over here. So this will be a parallel. So here's our uncompressed bus. Let's go back to this other kit in a minute. Sounds pretty good. I still like the Overstayer, that's why I'm not really sure about unloading it. All right, so let's get out of that mic pre again, and let's just go straight to another compressor. Let's go into the Wes Audio. This one, I can just actually show you with software. So here's the unit we're talking about. I can, you know, change knobs here, but it's just as fast over here to use this plugin. And as you can see, it's turning the bypass on and off if it shows up on the camera. So let's mess with this a minute, see what this does. This is cool because you got the harmonics control here, and you got the high pass or sidechain filters. Let's let more kick drum in. Let's slide that underneath. Put the harmonics back on. Let a little, put it in 90, let some kick come back through. I like that one a lot too. I've been using that on my 2 bus, but I've been thinking about going back to drums with it a little bit to try out. So I'm going to jump down to, actually, you know what? Let's just go to the DBXs while I have the camera in focus. Makes sense. Let's see how good old little DBXs do. That's cool too for kind of a stiff sound. Move on to the JLMs. These guys I really like a lot. I built these a few months back and I haven't really used them on drums. They've been on background vocals. They've been on guitar, buses, and been on background vocals, but I'm digging them on drums right now, and I'm almost thinking I should get another pair. I'll build another pair. So when you pull the threshold to out, it makes the attack slower, and these aren't internally linked, but I calibrated them so they're close. But by pulling this makeup gain to stereo link, it kind of makes them kind of be a little more in sync. When those VUs go off, it's in bypass. Right now we're in 5-to-1. Let me do the stereo link thing, and I'll do the slower attack. Now I'm gonna put this in the 200 Hertz side chain. Now here's 100 Hertz. Here's with the parallel. Let's try a different ratio a second. Here's 3-to-1. Three to one's going to be more of a normal LA2A. And we put it always flat. Right there just adds a lot to the kit. And without doing anything, I already had some stuff I was messing with. Let me plug this in real quick. So I have a set of Capi LC25 graphic EQs that I built. Listen to this a second. Just a compressed sound. And I think all I'm doing on this is just 1 dB, I don't know if that's a dB considered on these graphics, but 1 click over on 50 Hertz, 1 click over on 100 Hertz, 1 click negative. I'm pulling out 200, pulling out 1 click of 400, a click at 800 boost, 1.6 boost, 3.2 is flat, 6.4 is a 1 boost, and 12K is actually flat. And down here is 25 Hertz, that's flat. So that makes it a little stiffer and shinier. Let me put that underneath the uncompressed. Let's check the ZEP kit out. Let me back down this compressor a little bit. So here's without that, it's without those JLMs. With them, I'm gonna try this EQ again. To add some sizzle to that snare. All right, that's the same kit in parallel. Yeah, I'm liking those JLMs on. Let me turn this flat. Let me slide this dude back over. I'm hoping those lights aren't too annoying on the VU meters. I'm gonna switch that to, I'm gonna try that at a 10-to-1 now. Yeah, the kick drum's activating a lot, so let's put it down to 100 Hertz. Let's do 200. Let a lot of kick drum come through. That's without those compressors. With them. Let's try the fast attack a minute. Let's put the EQ back in. We're going to try the distressor now. I don't have it really set up, so let's do a 6-to-1. Let's turn all these off, except the link. I want to put them in link mode. And we'll start with get like everything on like 5. I don't know what, we'll see how that goes. Take the bypass out. Fast attack, fast release. Put some distortions on. Parallel that. I'll throw that EQ in the middle of that real quick. I have it patched right after the distressor. Same EQ settings. Make a slower attack. Without it. I'm going to kick that EQ in again. I'm going to take some of the top out of the EQ now. Okay, I left the low mids cut and the bottom at 50 and 100 boosted. It's 1 notch, but I took the top off. Let's try paralleling that again. Same thing with the other kit now. Okay, EQ's out. So let's go to nuke. Distressors are always great on drums too. A long release. A lot slower attack. Trying to watch my levels going into this reinsert plugin. Here it is with that Capi EQ again. Here's that 6.4 that I didn't have in. I'll just tap that in a little bit. One notch, it puts that little sizzle on the top. I'm just going to do mono of the LA2A and of the 76 because why not? All right, let's see what's up with this. This is mono on the parallel side. Four to 1. Then you can take the attack all the way down and click it. Turns off the compressor, and basically the 1176 just becomes a dirty box. So it's right on the edge of being fuzzy right there. Parallel that in a minute. So it's not even compressing. Well, technically it is because it's distorting, but here it is, 8 to 1. $12 to 1. $20 to 1. That's a cool sound too. To the all buttons in thing. Okay, and another one we can do, I just remembered that I just built, is this DIY OLA5. It's more like what do you call it? LA4A, but cleaner was their goal on that. This is a limiter mode, which is a different, I can't remember what I set that to honestly now. Different ratio and high pass filter. And this is a mix button to turn the mix blend on. So I'll turn it on. The high pass filter here. That's a little more lows in. Just a mix knob. We're on dry. Here's wet. And here's the limit mode. It's more acting like a limiter, but it's actually in a way more subtle, I think. I've been finding I actually like this thing on vocals more than I do drums. All right, so let's try the LA2A mono and see what's up with that. It's a high pass filter. Put that in with it. See what the limiter does on this. Squishing it with that. And here's that EQ again. I never used the LA2A on a mono drum bus like this, but it could work. It's pretty neat. Let me go back over here a minute. EQ. Well, right now for me, I'm going to keep playing with the JLM LA500s. They seem like my favorite right now for that squishy kind of color on a parallel to add underneath the drums like that. Thanks for checking that out. I'm going to probably do another shootout, I was thinking, because someone asked, I've had my Neotecs up on reverb for a while too, actually, but I like them and I keep using those EQs. But I don't really use the mic pre's often. I'm gonna set up an amp, I think, at some point, and I'm just gonna kinda, maybe just play a guitar riff on my Line 6 pedal just so I can have something to loop the riff for me to keep playing through the amp. And I might run through a bunch of different preamps, like my Chandlers, my Great River, my Capi, my new Stam audios I haven't even used on guitar yet. And that way you hear the same guitar riff over and over and over, but going through different mic pre's. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.